Yo guys, welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. As I promised, today it's time for the Inter Napoli preview for the match on Monday night at the Stadio San Paolo in Napoli. And joining me for this special episode, I have a Napoli fan all the way from Philadelphia in the USA. I have with me El Parcero Philly, John Zapata. What's up, John? Why don't you introduce yourself to the viewers and tell them how you came about being a Napoli fan?
Zio Sharma, thank you so much for having me on. It is truly an honor and pleasure to be accompanied with you today here on your show here to preview Inter vs Napoli. And if you guys don't know me, I'm at Parcero Philly, the uniter of all things sports and culture here in the beautiful city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the United States of America. And if you guys don't know anything about me, I'm just a young Colombian American here in Philadelphia who just wants to unite people. Today, you and me, hermano. Right now, you have two guys who love calcio, who are not Italian, and we are going to give you some good content here as far as Serie A. And it's funny, despite what goes on Twitter between Inter and Napoli, it's crazy that this Napoli fan and that Inter fan can actually get along. So Sharma, let's get this bad boy started. Let's preview Inter vs Napoli.
A great little introduction there by Parcero Philly. As he's said, it's been a hard season for Napoli fans. On the other hand, for Inter fans, it's been a great season if we look past the Champions League failure. Considering all the drama that's been going on outside of the football pitch for Napoli, the whole Ancelotti sacking and the Aurelio De Laurentiis drama. There's always drama with him anyway. And the players, the player revolt thing going on, the fans not being happy. What are your thoughts going into this big match?
Yeah, Sharp. So going into this match, honestly, I really want to feel good because after last match's great performance when you were down 1-0 away in Sassuolo, you were on a winless streak. They hadn't won their last 5 matches. And being able to get that monkey off their back and being able to get that win, and it was a come from behind win, you were able to see Napoli rise to the occasion when adversity hit them in the face. It's something you really haven't seen this season thus far with this Napoli club. You haven't seen a team that really has shown you passion and hard work on this pitch. But the reason I feel as if Carlo Ancelotti did not work with this team is we've heard this before in the past with Ancelotti and his training regimens. They're not as strict and as excruciating as other managers around the world. And you have a team like Napoli who 2 years ago everyone was talking about Napoli, the beautiful style of football, the Sadi ball, the fluid passing, and then they were so close to winning Scudetti. Then last year with a legendary manager like Ancelotti running the realm, you maybe thought that they were smelling themselves a little bit, and then they were starting to win a little bit, and they were looking good in Champions League. And then there was the Liverpool game where I still remember Mohamed Salah absolutely embarrassing Mario Rui and putting Kalidou Koulibaly in a bad situation, and he would get the goal that essentially would eliminate Napoli from Champions League. And from that moment on, you saw a different Napoli team, and Ancelotti really was in a tough situation. There was no saving him, and it was a sacking that needed to be done.
Yeah, well, that's a really interesting perspective from a Napoli fan, which I don't know too many of. That's why it's really great that John managed to join me on this episode. You touched on it there, but what are your thoughts on Gattuso ever since he's come in from Ancelotti? Ancelotti was obviously, big reputation, big name manager, whereas Gattuso is definitely not, in the same realm of reputation. But as we've seen in the past season, his job at AC Milan was good. People were underrating it, and now see they're suffering after sacking him. But what changes have you seen that he's made compared to Ancelotti?
And now Napoli are bringing in Gennaro Gattuso, right? And Gennaro very well as the former Milan player, the former Milan manager, and now he's the manager of Napoli. And really, when it comes down to Gennaro Gattuso, is tactically wise, okay, he's not maybe Pep Guardiola, but what he brings and what this Napoli team needs is they need to fight for that badge on the shirt, that N you see right here. They need to get back to fighting for that N. We need to see the constant hard working team to work hard for 90 minutes. And that is what I believe Gattuso can bring to this Napoli team, a hard work ethic to this club. Now thus far, in the 2 matches that Gattuso has been in charge of this Napoli club, I haven't seen that hard work and that grit yet. At least for a whole 90 minutes, I haven't seen that yet, but still plenty of time. But he did change up the tactics a little bit with Ancelotti. He transitioned from that 4-3-3 Saudi ball to a 4-4-2. There's still the fluid passing as time went on with Ancelotti kind of was steering away. They did do a lot of pushing a fullback up, and particularly this season with Di Lorenzo, you have seen them push up a lot up the flank. Last season you saw a lot of Mario Rui pushing up. Kevin Malkoui, Hisage, and Gulam when healthy, they would push up more from both sides. But Gattuso switched back to the 4-3-3. You've seen Insigne being played on that wing, sort of like he did with Saudi. The only issue is Fabian Ruiz. He's been playing him as essentially like a 6. Really what it looks like. He's playing like a deep regista. Now, Fabian Ruiz is not that guy. Fabian Ruiz is a legit attacking midfielder. He needs to play up more, higher up in the pitch. He needs a little bit more freedom. He can create for himself, quite honestly, and he's not bad at doing that. He can create for others, but he's better at creating his own shot. So I think that Fabian Ruiz, he's been a disappointment thus far this year, especially with this Gattuso side. With him playing in the wrong position and him seeming like he's ready to go back to Spain, it's really has been hurting this Napoli squad. It definitely still is early to tell whether or not Gattuso really is changing anything or if they're getting worse. But if we're being honest here, this is definitely a trial period for a lot of guys. Napoli at the moment are sitting 8th in the table, and we're halfway through the season. There's a lot of question marks on this team. What's going to happen to Dries Mertens? What's going to happen to Lorenzo Insigne? What's going to happen to Kalidou Koulibaly? What's going to happen to Fabian Ruiz? There was just too much turmoil. And that's what I mean by bringing in Gattuso and bringing the mentality playing for the badge. It's just too much business going on instead of playing football at the end of the day. And that's just really what I've been seeing with this Napoli team this year.
Koulibaly is out for the match. Fabian Ruiz is also out for the match. So what are your thoughts going into this match, despite those big injuries, and keeping in mind Inter as well? We have Sensi coming back finally. Brozovic is finally fully rested, and Barella will be on the bench as well. So give me your score prediction.
Now going into this game, Koulibaly and Fabian Ruiz are essentially not going to play. So more than likely, I think we will see Maksimovic. If not, Luberto will take over for Koulibaly, and of course we'll have Manolas starting along the other side of the center back, starting as the other center back. That's going to be a big loss there as well. And then for Fabian Ruiz, I think they'll be fine. They can start Elmas, Alan and Zielinski in the midfield, so that should work well. But it's going to be tough for Napoli to, they got to, when it comes to Inter, specifically a Conte managed team, they like to attack they like their width, right? They like to attack out wide. It's all about the wing backs for Conte. I know Conte well. And Lukaku is looking good for Inter as well. He's been looking like a guy who can score. So I really want to see how Napoli is going to be able to combat Lukaku without Koulibaly and Lautaro Martinez. Man, Lautaro is balling. So it's really going to be a tough challenge here for Napoli. I'm really just gonna hope that being at the Stadio San Paolo, these guys will arise to the occasion playing at home. Can the Insigne that we all know and love step up? Can Milik get a couple goals here? He looks like he's in form. Over the last couple matches, he's looked like he's in form, including a hat-trick against Ghent in the Champions League match. But also too, Inter have to have that last Napoli match fresh in their head as well. Last time these two teams met up, it was in the Stadio San Paolo, and Inter fell flat against Napoli, and Napoli had a good day, good match against Inter on that day. So we'll see what happens. I'm not feeling too not feeling too comfortable here, but I will say Napoli will rise to the occasion, and I'm guessing that they will draw this match, and it'll be a 1-1 draw against Inter Milan. I think that Milik will rise to this occasion, and he will get the game-tying goal here for Società Sportivo Calcio Napoli.
Okay, 1-1. I would say that's a fair score prediction, because obviously you've had the 2 weeks rest as well. You've had more time to get used to the Gattuso tactics, the new 4-3-3 formation, and as you said, Milik is also in good form. But with Inter, as I said, Sensi will be most likely starting, finally back to full fitness. One of the most important players for Inter this season, and it's been a shame that we haven't been able to see him for the last few months. Barella coming back on the bench as well. Brozovic, poor guy, finally has a 2-week rest. So all in all, we have the Lautaro-Lukaku partnership up front, which is one of the best in Europe without a doubt. And I think they will fire us to victory, and I predict a 2-1 victory. In general, what also makes me confident is your form going into this match. Obviously, you mentioned that winless streak as well. So in the last 8 matches, Napoli are, way down below in the league tables, near Lecce and them man there, with only 7 points in the last 8. Obviously in the league, we know they only have 24 points, which is pretty much shambolic. The defense, which we were definitely expecting a lot more from, has conceded 22 goals, which is more than the likes of Parma and Verona. And then their attack, which is really the disappointment here, because Napoli on paper should be one of the top 3 attacks definitely in the Serie A, and they've only scored 27 goals in 17 matches, which is very, very poor. But yeah, that was the match preview. Thank you to El Parcero Philly for coming on. Make sure to follow him. I'll leave all his social media handles below.
Gio Sharma, thank you so much for having me on. It was a pleasure. It's been a minute since I've actually talked calcio, and it was definitely a lot of fun, and hopefully my Napoli can show up Monday night against Inter. It should be a fun match. And of course, best of luck to you and your Inter. But guys, if you want to follow me and you want to talk European soccer, you absolutely can do that. Follow me on YouTube at El Parcero Philly. You can find all my content there. If you want to check out some Philly sports stuff, I got plenty of Philly sports on there. But we also do talk about European football on there as well. Find me on other platforms, social media as well, guys. Find me on Twitter at El Parcero Philly, and you can also find me on Instagram at El_Parcero_Philly. But until next time, I'm El Parcero Philly, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Forza Napoli, per sempre.
And everyone else, make sure to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed. Helps us out a lot. And leave the comments below. What are your match predictions for this big match on Monday night? Is you going with the John's 1-1 draw, or are you going for my 2-1 victory prediction for Inter? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you for the next one. Ciao.